Hello. So, people might be freaking out that it's not Zach. For the people in here, Zach got a little busy, so I'm going to be doing it for him. I'll introduce myself once a little more people are in here, and then we'll kind of go from there. Let me get this up, so hopefully you guys can see this. And then you guys can let me know if you guys can see that. And hopefully you guys can see that, and you can see me, and you can hear me fine. And let me get this over to the lovely people. All right. Perfect. Hey, thanks, Isaac. Yeah. I might have, I might look a little bit different. Got some work done, but that's about it. So hopefully we have a pretty normal day outside of that. You weren't here before I even put in Slack anyways. Fair enough. I don't have to. All right, well, for anyone that's usually in here, I'm just treating this like a normal live, so that we do inside Slack. So yeah, not much is going to change on my side. One thing, obviously the camera will change. I usually don't do a camera. We got a camera today. Outside of that, not much is changing. Yeah, I'm going to look over here more because that's where the chat is. But yeah, Bama, Zach, I did change. Yeah, it's totally the same person. And I just changed my looks a little bit. Yeah, hopefully you guys like it, and we'll go from there. So yes, for people that don't know, I'm gonna just kind of chart in the background. But for people that don't know, I'm one of the coaches inside Freedom Team, along with Zach. He asked me to take over his YouTube today to do his live. He got a little busy, but he still wanted to get a live for you guys. So that is why I am in here, and everything will be back to normal next week, obviously. But he just had something come up, so he wanted me to do it, so you guys didn't miss out on one. And that is about it. But yeah, I don't even know on YouTube how I'm supposed to tell people are in here. Oh, I got it. Okay. So 24 people. Sweet. Awesome. 4 likes, by the way. I know Zach has a way of telling who those likes are. I'm not that person. Yeah, I don't know how he tells that, but yeah, we're going to watch some stuff today. I know Spy looked good. According to some people, I still think it does. So we'll definitely watch Spy. I'm more than likely am going to look for probably if we open around here, hopefully this doesn't make some sort of supply and we can look for a move down and look for a move back up is probably what I'll be looking for on that. What up? I like that. Xander instead of Tanner. Hey, it works, man. It does work. Q's kind of same thing, just for TLM wise. If we create supply here, it's going to be a little tricky, which we might do, but also might not. Depends where we open. Probably the same thing on those. Apple had quite a trendy day yesterday, so I don't really love it for I don't love it for TLM, but I'm thinking I don't know if I really want that huge zone, but it kind of makes the most sense. It's going to be a super key level just in terms of the supply here. I don't know if we'll hit it today, but I want to kind of keep the area noted. Could probably make it a little smaller, but what I'll actually do is I'll just send an alert there for when it comes up. We'll go from there. Hopefully, I don't even have to worry about recording this. Zach's got it so nice, man. Amazon. Yeah, a little supply in the way, which I don't love. But on the flip side of that, we could just take profits early, assuming we get the right sort of price action. I kind of just feel like all I need to labels is 15-minute. And if I were to trade, I'd probably just take profits before that. It'd probably be it's going to be hard to get anything more than 1-to-1 there, but I'll actually throw that in secondary because I don't love it. Google, not much. Unfortunately, this demand's already been touched. We didn't really get the reaction out of it I thought we would, which was unfortunate. Never really set up any trades, so don't have much on Goog. I'm not going to play an already tested demand zone here, so it's going to be tough. Microsoft bounced off that demand yesterday. Did it twice, actually. Had a good reaction both times. So we'll kind of look for a similar thing. I guess if we open up here, we'd actually be looking to short it for TLM, but for the people that know me, you know how I feel about shorting Microsoft. So we'll keep an eye on it. We'll see where it goes, what it does. Done on secondary as well. NVIDIA, I'm staying away from, has earnings today. Contracts are probably super expensive. If they're not already, they probably will be. AMD actually looks tradable today. We did hit this demand yesterday as well, which is nice. Pretty good reaction off of that. So if we can get what I would consider a little bit of a pullback, which would just be bouncing out of TLM to the downside and then look for a move upwards, I like that. I think that'd be a good move. The questionable thing is us bouncing off supply. But supply obviously doesn't go until the line. So we'll see here. We'll see what happens. But I do like AMD. I think this could work really well. IWM is in a weird spot right now, just with that rip up and then a massive gap down yesterday. It looks like we're going to create demand here pretty strong. So I would really need some good upwards momentum to think about trading this. And I don't know if I necessarily even want to try it. We can watch it. We'll see what it does. Meta was one that I saw someone mention in Slack today. I believe it was John. We have 41 people in here. If you guys are from like the Slack and actually part of the group and you're here, let me know, because I just want to see how many of the regulars showed up. And if you're not, still say what's up. So obviously I won't be on here a lot, but while I am on here, say what's up to you. Oh, Patrick, what's up, man? How are you? Yes, you are, James. Oh, that's Gabe. What up, Gabe? Yes, I didn't even realize. I honestly would never guess that was you. Yes, Isaac, I know you're in here. Jamie, okay, that makes sense. JMH. Munir, what's up, man? Glad that that loom helped you yesterday, by the way. Same with you, John. Master chart technician. I don't know if I'd go that far, but I do appreciate it. What up, Sid? Pierre, what's up? Gabe's winking at me. Mark, I do recognize it. What is up? Morning, other Pierre. What's up, Dante? How are you, man? Yeah, John, I appreciate the compliment. I don't know if I'd go that far, but I do appreciate it. What up, Mike? How are you, man? Okay, so we had a good amount of people come out. I'm just kind of curious what I don't really keep up with the split in terms of how many people are join or watch these from the Slack and how many people are just people from the vault and just watch it normally. But yeah. Anyways, Meta, I'm pretty sure it was John in Slack who was looking at Meta. I think that was one of your plays, John, along with spotting cues. It could be good for sure. I think what I would really be looking for here is pretty simple. The only thing that worries me about this might be this 15-minute supply here, but I would probably play it based off of this high. So I wouldn't really say that next one's a supply. I'd probably play based off the break of this high and look for a pullback and play up to this supply up here. I think that would be probably the best way to play this. I assume that's kind of what you saw as well. Tesla, I didn't even watch Tesla yesterday. Big dump at the start and then consolidated all day. We're opening up a little low. I don't love trading TLM on these kind of stocks that have these big dumps on the 30-minute right in the morning. Because any of these moves up that we get looking for TLM could just be a retrace that ends up dumping more. And that's kind of what worries me about it. Another thing I don't love about this is we don't really have a high that we're aiming to break because everything kind of, all the highs are all the way up here. So I'll probably stay away from Tesla. Scott's in here. What's up, Scott? How are you, man? How are you? Scott, I actually had a call with a student yesterday, and he's interested in doing swing trading. Daryl, I think he responded to something you said in the main chat after our call. He's interested in doing swing trading. I think you guys would have a lot of stuff to go back and forth about in terms of swings and swing ideas and stuff. So I told him to connect with you and kind of, not really an accountability buddy, but just someone who also is looking to swing trade, because I know you do a lot of swing trades, and are good at it. So I did have him reach out to you. I don't know if he did or if he just responded to you, but just a heads up. MU could actually be pretty good today. You have talked to him? Okay, good. Could be pretty good today on MU. I think this is our worry right here. Is this kind of pseudo demand we have? You'd want to break at that and then a pullback to go lower. Again, people that know me know I don't love these because rarely do you get the pullback you want without a full rotation. So we'll watch it. We'll see what happens. We could also I'll probably put it there because we could just see we could just see a bounce from this demand to look to go higher as well. MU is actually kind of in demand, maybe on like kind of like a 4-hour demand is what we're in right now, which is actually interesting. We kind of stopped on the low of it yesterday. Yeah, we could see an MU change in trend, like a major change in trend here, which would change the whole bias of it. But we'll watch it. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna put in supply and demand play for now, and we'll kind of watch that. Oracle had a great reaction off demand yesterday. Had a great reaction off supply the day before. This one was harder to catch though, for sure. I don't love it for TLM. Probably will just ignore it. Yeah, so I think we'll go with that. SpyQ's, AMD are going to be top watches. And then Amazon, Microsoft will keep an eye on. Same with IWM Meta and MU. Not really top watch, but we'll keep an eye on it as well. For the people who aren't a part of the Freedom Team yet, if you want to learn how to trade TLM, consider booking a call with our advisors, part of our program. TLM is what a lot of people trade within the program, myself included, and a lot of people in here right now trade with it as well. So I'll probably do this a few times throughout the stream. Obviously, the guys in here that are from the Freedom Team, they don't need this, but that link I posted in chat is how to book a call with our advisors. If you kind of want to learn about that stuff in terms of trading TLM and everything like that. SPY has a fresh supply zone at 563, I believe. Fresh supply at 560. Yes, it does. Yeah. So we'll keep an eye on that. Yeah, I think that's a good thing to point out too, because what could happen and what we've seen happen in the past is price come up here and kind of bounce off supply. And I talk about this sometimes, but talk about kind of using TLM as a basis for a supply and demand trade, or vice versa, using supply and demand as a basis for a TLM trade, and kind of using them together. It almost gives you an extra confirmation that you wouldn't normally have with just trading either setup. So SPY could definitely have one of those today. I think just for SPY in general, with how trend's been, I would much rather play it to the upside. My only worry with that is if we create some sort of supply here. I don't love that. But you could make the argument that we do have some demand as down here. We could do the same thing as well. We didn't really hit it yesterday. Again, huge wick here, but you could look at something like this and kind of see what side we bounce to. I did go over AMD. I like it a lot. We kind of bounced off. I didn't mean to do that. We kind of bounced off demand yesterday. So this is actually kind of what I would like to see, is kind of a high formed here come down. I don't want to really see a bounce from demand. I mean, we might not see any of it. It might just rotate, but I don't want to see a bounce from demand. I just kind of want to see a low made, which we kind of already did outside of TLM, and then play off a break of some high or something like that. But I think it's going to be tricky with this opening candle already, which is unfortunate, but we'll keep an eye on it. That one might be a little too fast. I might end up missing it, but I would definitely watch it. SPY is chilling. Q's chilling. Okay. Yeah, AMD might end up just ripping. Amazon actually opened above our supply, which makes this whole thing a little more interesting. Yeah, we'll see where Amazon goes. If Amazon comes to the downside and looks to make a move back up, it'll be a little tricky. Yeah, it'll definitely be a little tricky. It's going to be tricky either way, even if we pop out and move down, because now we've made this low right here for the day already. Microsoft looks to be in a good place, actually. I think Microsoft, I probably would want this low to break. Don't really have any demand in the way that I'm necessarily worried about. So I think this low is something I'd want to break, and then we'll look to get a move there. Morning KRSB. What is up, man? IWM kind of chilling. I gotta move Meta up. I think Meta actually should be pretty good if we get the right price action. MU, that's strange. Okay, so MU opened, had a little bit of a rip up to fill the gap, and then came right back down. Huh. MU could be interesting today for sure. Has the same kind of issue as Amazon. We kind of made that high instead of the low. Just gonna make it a little tricky. But if we get some good movement upwards, I don't see why not. Microsoft making its way down. Not downtown, just down. That's the type of reference that Gabe laughs at. Way too much. Chris B here. Morning, Chris. How you doing, man? Yeah, AMD filled the gap and looks like it's coming back down. I don't know how much I like that, to be real. Yeah, I don't know. AMD's tricky because you could make an argument of just getting an AMD now and looking to play to the upside, but I think there's a possibility this goes lower. The tricky part about that is that if it does go lower and you have your high up here, how are you going to really determine that's going to keep going up? And I think that's the main issue with it here. Is even if it does rotate, you didn't really have anything that tells you it's going to keep going, which makes that trade very difficult. Amazon still moving it downside. Same with Microsoft. I got an alert on Apple. Oh, Apple's in supply. Interesting. If Apple breaks this supply, that is really big for Apple, especially to end the week. That's massive. Yeah, MU popped out to the downside. If we can get some good upwards momentum, that's an interesting bit of a play. Meta's not doing anything. Microsoft, you really need a retrace here, and then a move down, and then you're going to need another retrace off of that probably. So still need a lot from Microsoft. Seeing Tesla for rally retrace opportunity. Initial move to upside. Spoke to soon. Tesla dropping. Like, yep, that's trading Tesla in a nutshell, though. I mean, if we're being honest, that's why it's so hard to trade. That's why a lot of people lose money on Tesla. It's a very hard stock to trade. It's very random. Microsoft's looking like the best setup if we get a retrace. MU actually looks really good too. But the problem with MU is what a lot of other problems are right now, is that we kind of formed this high. We kind of got a retrace here. I don't think that's necessarily 50. It's not. So you'd really want to see another high kind of form. This I have a feeling this is going to play out similar to like Apple yesterday. Where that break of structure, I think a lot of people are going to label to get in. It's not really going to be a break of structure necessarily. So we'll have to be careful and watch that. Microsoft does just barely break that low. So I kind of want to see a retrace up to this area, maybe a test of this 1 minute supply here, and then look to move back down, get another break, and then retrace off of that to get in. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't know if that's going to happen. I feel like it's a lot to ask out of Microsoft, but if it does, I will play it. The only reason I'm waiting for that much confirmation is because it's Microsoft. I know it's a lot of confirmation, but it's Microsoft. Don't really want to short it, but I will if it asks me to. I want to see what NVIDIA is doing. Just chopping, which is what I expected. Oh, wow. Yeah. NVIDIA or Tesla did drop. Yeah. I think it could have been good. I know I kind of figured someone was going to be looking at it. But obviously that happened way too fast for any of us to catch. MU's off a cliff. Yeah, you really need that that retracement on Microsoft. AMD dropped all the way back down to demand. Just fine. It's just going to have to make its way back up and make new stops for us. It's going to be the tricky part. Yeah, that's going to be the tricky part with it. Trying to see if Patrick had a... I mean, it is technically a 2-hour demand. Not fresh, though. Got to stick to the fresh ones. Flipping a short bias on Tesla if we got to get a retrace. Yeah, I think that's probably smart. Just with that move. I wouldn't totally flip your bias till we break this low, which we're probably about to do. But, yeah. Was that a... Yeah, that retrace 50. Yeah, that could be a very good move. Again, you still need a retrace off this. But with the break at that low, now you can use this as your stop. Could be a decent trade. Could be something I'm interested in as well. We'll have to keep an eye on it. Did I already check? Does MU have... MU's a little below demand. Okay. Interesting. Microsoft off watch? Yeah, for sure. Again, we need retraces here. And it's going to be a lot to ask for because I'm looking for what? 413.75. And I just don't know if it's going to come back up there. I feel like that's a lot to ask. Jeez, AMD just dying. Everything's kind of dying. Man. Amazon all the way down to the bottom line. Interesting. That does allow it to touch demand here. This could be something to note. Your big problem here is that you don't really create any high to break, which is kind of what I was saying earlier. You really wanted a high to form, so you had something to try and break, but without that, it's going to make it hard to enter on this. But we'll see. There might be a trade on Amazon. It'll be a waiting game. Gonna need good confirmation to the upside, though. Very good confirmation is what you'll need. Qs is a very similar thing. You're going to need really good confirmation to the upside to want to enter this. In terms of demand, you don't really hit anything here. I mean, I guess not even that, really. Yeah, maybe a 15-minute, but that's already been hit 3 times. I don't know how much that affects your trade. Yeah, Amazon's still dropping below. Microsoft working its way back up. I think something along these lines could be something that works decent. Kind of a wide stop and a lot of faith in a stop here, but especially on something like Microsoft, it's a large range here. With this sort of stop, I mean, you're talking over $1 stop on Microsoft. You're going to want to look for definitely less size on your normal trade. Just with how much of a move that is. But we will have to see. More than likely do those if we were to. If we were to get in, probably these. Yeah, Microsoft. I think it's a very good setup. It's a lot of trust in that stop, though. A whole lot of trust. market. See what Microsoft does here. Remember, with this big of a stop, if you're playing this, you got to make sure your sizing is right. Microsoft contracts are going to move a little more. So make sure we're aware of that. We will keep that on positions, though, and see what happens here. Amazon move or AMD, sorry, making its way back up. It's a very good start for Microsoft. Very, very good start. How many people in, if anyone? I'm sure Gabe got in, but anyone else? Just curious. John's in. Yes, sir. Yowza is in. What a name. Yowza. It's a funny name, man. I like that. AMD breaks a little supply there. AMD could be interesting. Again, we'll put more of a focus on Microsoft, but I kind of want to look at my target here. I just don't know how much I love. It's probably the best target on here. I don't know what else you would necessarily target. I think that's probably the best one. Let's target this little double high here. I guess you could target here to play safe. It's 412.27 area. Is probably the safer target. Let's play that. 1.16. I'm going to play that. Yeah. Let's play that for a target. And we'll go from there. I think that one's going to be a little safer. It's Clint. What up, man? How are you, Clint? Taking down a 412. Yeah, I don't think that's a bad target either. I'm just going to keep mine a little conservative, which you just hit. So there we go. Hey, I mean, listen, man. Shout out to TLM. I don't know what to tell you. If you played the conservative target, you're already out. You could look for a move a little lower here, maybe to that 412 area like John's talking about, or the one I had set up before, which was what did I have set up before? This one. So yeah, there's a bag for the day. Assuming okay, and and the OCOs worked. I mean, that's a perfect trade. That's how you catch Microsoft. Okay, if you won, let me know who won. I should see a lot of people that won because a lot of people said they're in. So let's see who won. I don't hate runners here, John, by the way. I don't hate them at all. Yeah, John's hit. Pierre, I don't know if you got in. Gabe hit. Of course, Gabe's always hitting. Big day for you, Gabe. I saw your NAS 100 trade as well. Rocking it, dude. Appreciate it. Arius hit. Let's go. Pierre, you did get in. Nice. Clint out in green. Nice. Yes, Pierre. Other Pierre hit. Isaac hit. Let's go. I love it. Yeah. For all the people who aren't a part of the Freedom Team, we do this every day, 5 days a week. Anyone in here that's part of the Freedom Team knows that and will tell you guys. So if this is something you want to be a part of, I'm going to put the link here again to schedule a call with one of our advisors. That we do this every day. We do the live trading every day. So if you want this to be something you have every day and have access to TLM and learning these strategies we teach, that's the place to go. But yeah, that's a great Microsoft trade. I'm super happy with that. It would have worked on any target either. I know I had my original target here. John had it at 412, which was here. So all the targets we had, no matter who it was, set up good targets. Everyone that said they got in, it looks like targets got hit. So that's very good. Yeah, no, I'm super happy with that. It's a very good trade for us. M2K send up for TLM going up. I will look at that, Marcelo. What do you think of IWM TLM? I will look at that. Crispy is learning. All good, man. Okay, let's look at Marcelo first. M2K. Let's see. For TLM. Yeah, you just want probably at least this high to be broken or this high. But if it was me and I was playing it really safe because we have a low here and the high form here, I'd probably wait for this. What is this? 2215.8 high to break. Probably be the one. So you're going to need a lot more movement, but go from there. Is that IWM just as the same? Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. IWM, this one's tricky just because you did create demand here. Yeah, you're not going to be able to break the high or break demand. What you're going to have to do is what I would like more here is getting some sort of retrace back down a little bit and then breaking a high and using that kind of upwards momentum as confirmation. But that's probably the best you're going to get. I don't like taking anything here because your stop's going to have to be all the way down here. So your risk reward won't be good. You're going to need some sort of retrace before you make a move back up. And then you're kind of just playing the odds with the supply is what you're going to have to do. So I don't love it, but it could end up working. It might also just rip up and that never even happens, which is another thing that could happen. I also need to get this trade marked in my journal. If you don't journal your trades, please journal your trades. Helps a ton. But no, that was a solid win. I need to put this in here. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Yes, I'm glad that a lot of people won on that too. Seemed like a lot of people followed that, so I'm glad that trade worked out. That is very similar. There should be a lot of people in here who see how similar that is to the Apple trade, because the Apple trade we took, I think that was Monday, is so similar to that. That's like the exact same freaking setup. Apple was just like a little lower in the zone, but that's like the exact same setup. So, no, I love it. I'm glad people won. What platform are you using? I'm using TradingView for charting. So that's what you see on the screen. And then my execution of trades is through Thinkorswim. Thinkorswim through Charles Schwab. That is what I'm using. Yeah, I think there's still going to be some good setups out here for sure. I think AMD could set up pretty well. Your only issue here with with AMD is you created supply on a lower time frame here. So it's going to be something tricky to play with, but bounce from demand, maybe you get like a break this high and you look to go up from there. That could be something. Qs, kind of a similar thing. Look for a break of this high, retrace and look to go back up. Again, you create demand or supply, which is going to make it a little more tricky. But that could be something for sure. Obviously, Microsoft's done with that rotation. SPY is looking a lot less likely than something like Qs or AMD is. Amazon broke through demand, so I don't think this is going to be something that's going to look to go back up. I think Amazon's looking just to push lower. Meta, I think, is the same way. Yeah, Meta's the same way. Probably just looking to push lower, if anything. IWM, we've gone over. MU, very similar thing. Probably looking to go lower. Apple bounced off of supply, which I kind of assumed it would. There's nothing really here, though, because you have this major demand in the way, which makes it a little tricky. So I wouldn't really look for much here. Yeah, it's going to be tricky to take any sort of trade in here, to be honest with you. You're going to have to fight against this demand, which makes it hard. Minimum set up reversal. We can take out supply of 518.2. We'll need confirmation. Yeah, it could set up well. I don't know. We're kind of in a demand as well. Yeah, right here. So, yeah, it definitely could set up for a reversal very easily. The question's going to be, are you going to feel confident with just a break of a 2-minute supply? And if you are, you probably have a good right to be confident because we've kind of hit these lows twice before and reversed out. So that's kind of a play that if you trade like that, it might be worth looking at. Tesla didn't give you the retrace you wanted, which is unfortunate. Just a tiny bit of a retrace, but not everything you want. But pretty solid, though. Pretty solid. Let's see. Did we get a... Okay, Andreas got Microsoft. I don't know if Andreas is in here. But Andreas did catch the TLM trade. I'm going to post mine in the Slack real quick. Did I not? I don't even have it marked. There we go. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. Let me get this up. Perfect. Would like to see at least 2 rally retrace to upside for confirmation? A meta? Yeah. I think that's a good criteria for it. 2 rally retraces and then a break of that high. I think you'd feel pretty confident. I have Thinkorswim. We'll get TradingView on Slack or Vault or Notion. TradingView is a separate platform from all of those. So Slack's just going to be like our communication for the group. The Vault is going to be the free program through school. And then Notion is going to be just like a resources page. So yeah, they're all different. But TradingView is a separate platform from all of those. You can just get the free account. The free account's fine. You don't need the paid one. I have the paid one, but that's just because 1, I hate ads, but 2, I use way too many alerts. So I just pay for the cheaper one because I think the first one you get like 25 alerts. So that's what I use. I'm very curious what Apple ends up doing here. Very, very curious. Be interesting to see if we get a bounce here. I'm not going to play anything on it, but I will be curious to see what it does. John, you still looking at Tesla? Curious if you are. Still need quite a retrace, but probably moving it. Highly recommend it. Awesome. Exactly. Yeah. Community is awesome. You are? Okay, good. Yeah, I'm curious if you get a play on this. Still need more of a retrace, but you might get a play. Oh, Andreas wasn't even in the live. He just took it. That's funny. That just shows, man. Even people not in here that are part of the program are still catching the same trades. It's down to the system. How do you draw a demand zone on Apple? How would I draw the demand zone on Apple? Just here. Probably on like a 5-minute. Might show up on a 15. Yeah, probably looks better on a 5. But just something here. Something quick. See if we get a bounce off that. Obviously, this is going to be a lot stronger, the supply, because I think it's on a 2-hour. But this might push us right back up there. This is just a very key supply zone for Apple. If we can break through that, I think Apple's going to go a lot higher. Will I be able to get a trade off of it? I don't know, but I think that's your retrace, John. It is. I don't know if you'll enter, but I believe that is your retrace. And that retrace, I believe, was 50% up here as well. Yeah, it was. So you could have an interesting trade on your hands, for sure. It's not something I trade personally, so I won't be trading it, but I'm sure. I know this is kind of what you're looking for. I'm waiting for an entry very close to early market high on Tesla, waiting for close to a high day. That's fair. That is fair. You do kind of have a 2-minute supply here as well. So, yeah. If it retraces up there could be a better entry point for sure. Apple does get a little bit of a bounce off there. Not a very strong reaction from Apple, though. Not strong at all. So it might look to go lower here. Meta still needs a lot. Amazon's basically done. Not really too worried about looking for that. AMD went a little lower than I wanted it to. If we were looking for anything. Qs is going to be hard here. It's going to be tough for sure. Yeah, Qs is going to be tough. You're really going to need a break of this. And I don't even know if that's enough to really change your bias on it. Yeah. 211 plus. You said same here, John. 211 plus. Yeah. So right about in that 2-minute supply, I think is probably a good place. Are you looking for just a tight stop just above high of day? Or are you looking for a stop up here and kind of looking for more of a swing? Kind of curious what your plans are for that. Or a scalp line? Yeah. I think that's fair. I think that is fair. IW could give you a retrace here, but you're also bouncing off supply, which I think is a little bit worrying. Yeah, I think what you'd really be looking for on IWM is a retrace here, and then a break of this high with a retracement off that to look to the upside. I don't know if you'll get that in the next 30 minutes, but if you do, that's probably what I'd be looking for. Yeah, tight stop. That's what I figured. I don't know why I clicked on Microsoft. Yeah, AMD is just out of AMD's out of everything, man. I don't think AMD is gonna have a play at all. That might be your IWM retracement. It is. So now you kind of want to come up and break this high and get a retracement off that. So I would at least be looking for. Will you get that? I don't know. But I know we had some people looking in here. I think Marcelo was in here looking. Thinking a swing on Tesla, potentially some contracts at the end of the day. Yeah, you could. It really comes down to what kind of trade you're looking for. Netflix approaching fresh demand. Yeah, I haven't looked at Netflix in so long. I don't even know what the spreads are on it. It really used to be crazy because oh my god, dude, contracts are still out of this world. Like if I wanted that, like there's no way you trade that in the money next Friday expiration. That is a what? $220 split. Nah, I can't, man. I can't do that. That is not what I'm into. I think IWM. I just don't alert there. See what happens. Yeah. I don't know. It doesn't look promising. I will say that. just in terms of anything really setting up. Looks like the market might just take the rest of the day off to dump. Apple's holding pretty strong here, though, which is a really good sign for Apple. Obviously, no play to be had here because there's no way you're taking longs right into a 2-hour supply that's fresh, but still. It's a good bounce, good reaction for it. I would love to see Apple come up and break this supply, because then from that point, you're really not worried about much until you get all the way back up to that 235 area. So break of that would actually be really nice. Let's see. I think it has a lot to do before I would think about entering on anything. I don't know. Seems like IWM is trying to retrace. Will it actually do it though? I don't necessarily know. It's asking a lot to come all the way up here and then get a retrace and then look back up. That's a lot to ask in a short period of time. You just have another lower time frame supply here. And a lot of supply in the way. I think this would be a risky trade either way. Meta's still going to need a lot. It does not look like it wants to keep going. Q still needs a lot. SPY has just been in the range all day. NVIDIA's actually moving more than I thought it would be, to be honest with you. I thought it was going to be way, way choppy. But actually moving pretty decent. Q's break. Q's long on break of 475. I don't love it. Yeah, I think that's a tough one. I get what you're saying, but I think there's too much up here that would hold you back. But in terms of just market structure, you're right. You make a low, you break a weak high, you could technically look to go back up. Just with how the market's already been today, I don't know if you trust that little bit of confirmation to change going back up. Market volume dying off. If you got to win, keep it. Exactly. With the 50% of move yesterday. Oh, you're looking higher time frame stuff. Yeah, I mean, did we bounce off? Yeah, we kind of. I mean, if you're counting, let's look at it this way. If you're counting this, you're going to look at it a bounce off of that. You're counting your break here. And you're looking at something like this. Yeah. I don't consider this really the break structure you're looking for, just because, well, it might have actually. I don't know if it did. No. So it didn't retrace. So what I'm kind of thinking here is that this move up, instead of looking at this as a break structure here to look to the upside, why not look at it as just a simple downtrend and we got a little fake move that made a low, and now this is just your retrace to 50% before we move back down. You know what I mean? So that's what would make me nervous about it. This could just be your actual retracement to this high or this high. You'd actually be playing off of that high technically. So that could just be a retracement there before you look to move lower more than anything. So I see what you are saying, because yes, technically speaking, this made a low and then came up and that low broke this high, but this high isn't really significant in the overall trend of things. And I think you're trying to play the overall trend of Qs. So the overall trend would say that you didn't break any significant high, which would mean you technically go lower in terms of probability wise. NVIDIA TLM actually does look pretty good, Luis. The only issue with it is NVIDIA has earnings later. So it's probably going to be pretty choppy the rest of the day until we get some big moves towards the end of the day. So I'm personally not playing that. Yeah, I stay away from stuff on its earnings days. Yeah, makes sense. Them strong highs always give me. Yeah, I think they get a lot of people, man. It's a hard thing to spot. Even something like this pivots indicator doesn't really point it out perfectly to you. There's still some issues with it. So yeah, you have to really decide on what kind of time frame trade you're looking at, and then kind of determine, does the bias you have fit that time frame in total. And for that one, if you're talking about the 50% move from yesterday's move, so you're looking at a higher time frame trade, but you're almost using the daily's move on a higher time frame trade when you should be using the higher time frame move for the higher time frame trade, which would indicate that likely we're going to keep going lower rather than higher on that one. Yeah, IWM is setting up. That's kind of why I'm watching it. I'm kind of curious what it's going to do. Again, break of the high or retrace. You like to go up higher. I like it. Just have to see what happens with it. Could be a good trade though. I will say though, in terms of retracements, because now you'd be able to use this as a low, so you wouldn't need that bad of a retracement actually. And it would allow you to have a pretty tight stop, which is nice. The only worry is breaking the fact we broke that low. That's the only worry here. Outside of that, we broke that low and we're not bouncing off any demand. That's the only thing I don't like about it. But I mean, obviously the supply up here, but still, I'd probably just take profit before this. What's really going to determine this trade is how far we move up if we do break this high. Because if we move up like all the way up here, I'm not really interested. But if we just get a little break and then this push back down and we still have this room to work with, then it'd probably be worth it for me. But yeah, it's really going to depend on that. Anything else? I don't think so. Apple's still going up. It is. Nice apple. Yeah, this actually looks good on a 5-minute too, which I like. When you look at these setups, it's always nice if, to look at other time frames, because trades that look good on multiple time frames usually tend to be the ones that work out the best. So the fact this looks good on 1 minute, 2 minute, and the 5 minute, probably not the 15. Yeah, because 15 is going to be a little much, but the fact it looks good on that makes you feel a lot better about the trade, to me at least. Looking for TLM midline, going for a retrace safer trade. Yeah, that's always going to be your safer trade. Obviously, with the safer the trade is, the less likely you are to catch it. Similar to waiting for retracements. You're always going to be able to enter the trade on a break structure. It's not always going to retrace. So, like I said, the safer trade you might miss sometimes, but I think playing in the long run, playing the safer trades only is going to be what makes people profitable more. So yeah, so waiting for something like that is not bad at all. I feel like I was on a streak trading IWM for a while there. I felt like I was trading it like every day, and then I haven't traded it in what feels like forever. Let's see. just don't know if IWM is going to retrace here. That's going to be the tough one. Could also not break the high. Should be kind of funny. After all this, it just doesn't break the high. Let's see. All right. We're at limiting loss and maximizing gains. Exactly. Didn't Meta make a nice move up? Oh my god. Yeah, it did. Is this off demand or something? I guess off the bottom of it. Yeah. It's kind of a delayed move from demand, but geez, what a move. I mean, I don't think that really changes much in the grand scheme of things. I think you'd still want at least this high broken. But that's a big push up for Meta for sure. IWM's going down. If you can take out 518, then retrace. Yeah, exactly. Take out this high here, this kind of supply we have created, and then a retrace off that could be a move for sure. I probably should have something here. I should kind of like demand drawn here on a 15-minute before that big move. So this is the third time this has been tested as well, so we have to keep that in mind. It's not fresh by any means, which just means the likelihood of it holding is going to be lower. But you get some high breaks. Nothing saying it won't continue. Yeah. To be honest, I'm not really worried if this IWM trade doesn't happen in the next 10 minutes or so. It's fine by me. We got our win on Microsoft. And I know a lot of people caught that, so that's good as well. And then I'm gonna make I'll make a loom going over that Microsoft trade for people who weren't in here, because I don't know. It's hard to tell. I think we hit something like 55 people in here, but we usually get about 40 in the Slack. So I assume there was probably some regulars who didn't show up to this one. So I would assume they'll probably want to loom. So I'll probably end up doing that today. And then we'll kind of go from there. Because I think... Yeah, no, it costs to 1. Okay. What's Meta doing? Stalled a little bit. Maybe push up. What's Keys doing? Nothing. AMD's falling. Really falling. Jeez. IWM is very hesitant to break this high, which I don't love. I have to admit, I don't love that. But we'll see what it does. We will see. Okay, so we do break that high. We do break it indeed. So now we're just looking for some sort of retrace here. Did get close above it as well, which is nice. But yeah, if we get a rip up, I would say a rip above like 218.90. I probably am not interested anymore. But if we can look to make our way down now, I'd be happy with that. It's gonna take a lot of patience, and that's what trading is, man. A lot of patience. So we will see. We'll see what happens. Let me get this. 2 minute close above it as well. It's nice. We will see where this takes us. What is that? Huh. Yeah, that's fine. That is fine. All right, let's see if we get our retrace. AMD pushing down through non-fresh 2-hour zone. Yeah, I did see that. Actually, I looked earlier to see if it was fresh. So I was thinking about if you were going to take something off it. It's going to go long on Qs. Just going to walk away real quick. Yeah. Yeah, no need to go long on Qs right now. Take your good day and walk away. Meta moving. 2 people said meta. What's happening? Jeez. Yeah, now you just run into the issue of a stop, you know? Your stop still has to be all the way down here, so you could look for a little bit of a reach. You get your rally, look for a retrace, and look for a move back up. Wouldn't be a bad idea. I think I like IWM a little more as it stands. Something like this. But that's if we even retrace, which I don't think we are. See, now I just don't know if I even like it. That's the problem. I don't know if that's too high. It might be. Might be a little too high for me. It kept going. Jeez. That's a crazy move for Meta. You get a retrace back down here. There might be something there. Might be something. God, I had so many alerts go off. Jeez. My phone is just alert after alert after alert. Yeah, we're continuing. We break the middle line. I don't really like it anymore. I think that's kind of my place I'm out on. Yeah. See if it retraces. We will see. Yes, John beat you to it. It's a hell of a rip, though. I gotta admit. It's what in, well, let's say like 10 minutes, you move over $4. $4.50, almost $5. Yeah. That's quite a move. I did get in a little. You got in on Meta? Where at? I'm just curious where you got in here. Did you just enter on the break here? I probably would have waited for a retrace of something like that. It kind of depends on your target, to be honest. If your risk reward is good, then small retrace back to 516. This little thing. Yeah, I mean, it's fair. You're up big right now. What are you targeting? I'm just curious. You're just targeting high right here. No, I'm just curious in your target. Yeah, okay. It makes sense. I don't think it's horrible. I would just be a little nervous about a retracement here off this high that looks to move back down. That's the only thing I would be nervous about, but it might just keep going. It might join IWM and just keep going. Use small size with tight stop. Okay. You're managing risk. That's all I ask of you. It looks like it might be a good one for you. Don't know if the IWM retrace is coming. Yeah, basically a race. And the fact that candle closed green is kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie. 1.3 RR trade. I don't know. I do not know. I don't hate it, but question is, if we do retrace, do I trust IWM to keep going? I don't know. Yeah, Meta really turned everything over today. And that move is insane. For a 10-minute move, that's insane. $5.20.20. Need 20 more cents. Very, very close. Very close. And is this it? John? Trigger? Are you good? Hopefully. Good win. Good win. It's a good day for you. Very good day for you. You love to see it. Yeah, no, stuff's getting super choppy, and I don't love that. I don't love that. The Q's die or what? Oh, no, Q's going up a little bit. Yeah, the thing is, man, I don't know what you. I just don't know what you necessarily want out of it. That's the problem. Like, I don't know where you want to enter on this. I think it's tough to get an entry anywhere in here. Like, if you have a place where you would have entered, I guess you'd be upset, but I don't know if you necessarily had a place. I don't blame you, John. It was a good day, so go enjoy it, man. Good win on meta. Stuff's getting choppy anyway, so I'm probably going to call it. But for the people still in here, hopefully you enjoyed. Yeah, hopefully, like I said, Zach will be back doing this next Wednesday, so that'll be everything back to normal. And we'll kind of go from there. But I won't be entering IWM. It's going to be past the first hour anyways, so I don't need it. But yeah, hopefully everyone caught the Microsoft trade. Hopefully we got some wins off of that. And yeah, Zach will be back soon. So you guys enjoy it. Have a good rest of your day, guys.